Welcome, Exiles and fellow adventurers. I am Mucho M, and welcome to my whole new series, PvE from A to Z. Path of Exile has a ton of different active skills. However, how many of them are actually viable to build around? My mission is to try out every single skill in Path of Exile and put them to the ultimate test, beating a pinnacle boss in solo self-found mode. Solo self-found means no outside help in-game, no trading, no handouts, just me and the gear I find or craft along the way. The goal for each character and skill is to face and defeat one of the many pinnacle bosses that Path of Exile has to offer. Now the ground rules of the challenge is: the skill that will be used should be dealing the most damage of all the skills. Everything will be done in solo self-found, where all the characters have been migrated to ensure that each single character has to grind for maps, items, unveils, and so on. So with that said, let's begin.
Welcome back, Exiles. In this episode, I will start mapping with the Ancestral Protector character. So before I begin on mapping, let me summarize the character that I have for now. The character is at level 70. I have kept all elemental resistances and have 78% fire resistance and 77% for cold and lightning. And I have about minus 43% chaos resistance. So this needs to be fixed as soon as possible. And the skills that I'm currently using are Ancestral Protector, Multi-Strike, melee physical damage, and elemental damage to attacks. I have Ancestral War Chief linked to multiple totems and elemental damage to attacks. Leap Slam linked to faster attack support for movement speed, determination and summon skitterbots as the auras, with flammability as the curse, and infernal cry. If you want to see a mapping showcase of the build, I will leave that in the end of this video, so you can look at the timestamps in the description below or the chapters throughout the video. So the plan during early maps is to switch from my current weapon to get a double axe with a high physical DPS. To make this easier, I will also spec into harvest as soon as I can to increase both the harvest crops, how often I see harvest, and the yields from harvest, hopefully making it easier to craft some of the equipment that I need. As with all builds, I need to upgrade from a 4 link to a 5 or a 6 link as soon as possible. I do believe I need the defenses from a regular body armor, so I will not try to farm out a tabula rasa. The plan is to stack up on Vaal fragments and use this to create Vaal side areas and farm these for potential 5 and 6 links. Another good strategy would be doing it in heist as well, but I will do it in the Vaal side areas. I will do all the Vaal side areas in hopes of getting a Vaal Ancestral Protector and or a Vaal Ancestral War Chief as well. For the Pinnacle boss, as I killed Eater of Worlds on the Absolution character, I will farm out the Searing Exarch as the Pinnacle boss to kill on this character, just to get some variation. So that's the main plan. Let's get to mapping. I started mapping by completing all of the tier 1 maps to get some Atlas passive skill points, and from here on out I will just complete the highest map tier possible that I have available in hopes to progress through the Atlas quick. After completing all the maps in tier 1, I looted a Vaal axe in the excavation map in tier 2. I upped the quality and put on a Veiling Essence of Seal, which will guarantee 20 to 22% increased attack speed on the weapon. Yes! Oh, yes! Oh, this is so good. Wait, look at that high physical damage. Oh, and it also has an open prefix. I can craft on flat physical damage on it. This is the axe. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. And so early as well. Nice. After collecting 7 Vaal fragments, I decided to start farming on the Vaal side areas. So if you're unaware of it, you can use one Vaal fragment alone in the map device to open a Vaal side area. So I started farming the side areas in hopes of getting a 5 or a 6 link, and of course the Vaal skills. Yes, okay. One of the Vaal skills is now secured. The Vaal Ancestral Warchief. This will help a lot. Now I only need the Vaal Ancestral Protector. I also looted some pretty nice gloves. It had some fire damage to attacks, decent life, but pretty good chaos resistance. So I crafted on some extra cold and lightning resistance, and I'm now closing in on getting to 0% chaos resistance. Finally! It's a pure dexterity base though. Oh, and I'm really lacking on the dexterity. So I don't think I will never be able to equip this one. And the socket colors as well will be extremely difficult to get correct. Nah, we'll keep on grinding. Yes! A 6 link. This one I can use. I just need to change the socket colors. Let's see. Okay, it has a ton of life, tons of resistances. Oh, this is such a good body armor. I just need at least 4 red sockets and it should be usable. So I did not have enough Vaal orbs. However, I had collected and saved up all of the Vaal skills from the areas. So to get Vaal orbs, you can trade in 7 Vaal skills with a Vaal fragment. And you'll get a Vaal orb in return. To be able to switch the socket colors, I needed 4 Vaal orbs and 4 chromatics. So I used the render recipe and I tried to change the socket colors. Yes! Okay. 4 red ones, this is huge. This is actually huge. Now, what will be the best other support gems? I need a gem that is blue and a green one that I can benefit from. So I decided to check in Path of Building and ended up buying a faster attack support and combustion support. So in my 6 link, I had Ancestral Protector linked to multi-strike, melee physical damage, elemental damage to attacks, faster attacks, and combustion. After looting the 6 link and the Vaal Ancestral Warchief, I continued with regular mapping, just pushing the highest tier available. And quickly after, I also looted some nice boots, which had high maximum life, 20% increased movement speed, and decent resistances. So I also crafted on dual resistances with cold and chaos res. And shortly after, I hit level 80. So let's just do a quick recap of the current character. At level 80, I had the following passive skill tree. And the skills I used now was Ancestral Protector linked to multi-strike, melee physical damage, elemental damage to attacks, faster attacks, and combustion. Vaal Ancestral Warchief, multiple totems, elemental damage to attacks, and Calling Strike. Leap Slam linked to faster attacks, and Endurance Charge on stun, and Life Tap to make it easier to use the skill and to get some endurance charges as well. For the auras, I had Determination and summoned Skin Robots, and I still used Infernal Cry and Steel Skin for defenses, and I had Flammability to Curse. The build now feels very good, and I started pushing yellow maps to get the Searing Exarch questline. In early yellow maps, I also came across a Trial of Ascendancy, so I could finally receive the offering to the goddess. I could finally run the Eternal Labyrinth for the last Ascendancy point. I finished the Eternal Lab without a sweat, and for the last Ascendancy point I took Arungui, Moon's Presence, for the extra defense of the totems and defenses for me as well. Soon after I finally met the Envoy and could start the Searing Exarch questline. I also looted a pretty nice medium cluster jewel, which had 12% increased totem damage, so I decided to craft on that as well and change my tree accordingly. I crafted on Ancestral Guidance and was also pretty lucky and got Chaos Resistance on the small passive nodes. I got rid of some life passive nodes to fit in the cluster jewel. After pushing red maps, I finally looted the first piece of the pinnacle boss, the Polaric Invitation, so that I could start the Black Star boss fight immediately. From the boss fight, I also looted a pretty good amulet, the Eternal Struggle, with 30% global physical damage when a unique enemy is present. And since the Searing Exarch mod was the highest, I also got kill enemies that have 15% or lower life on hit. So it has a built-in Calling Strike and Global Fizz with some nice added attributes and an increase to my global defenses. I felt that the build was ready and I started pushing high tier red maps to get to the Searing Exarch. Okay, finally, the Incandescent Invitation. We are now ready for the Searing Exarch. And with that, there is only one thing left to do, and that is to kill the pinnacle boss, Searing Exarch. I also wanted to include a map showcase in this video, so here in the end of the video you can see how the build functions in a normal map. So I chose to go with a T15 map with a whole bunch of modifiers. Enjoy Exiles, and until next time.
My monarch is gone.